Number 5. Brainiac. Now, Brainiac, he is a big hitter. Like, guys, this is my top 10 favorite Superman villains. I know they're not my, just the top 10 biggest villains. If it was Superman's biggest villain, then Brainiac would be number 2, right? But it's my personal favorite villains. Like, I know if Brainiac went up against, I don't know, a couple of my other characters on my top 10 list, like number 2 or number 3, if Brainiac went against those guys, he would whoop them. But these are my favorite, so that's why Brainiac's here on number 5. I like Brainiac. He's a cool villain. He's powerful. Like, his power is limitless. I mean, he goes to other planets, destroys them, and the whole thing of what he does, he just wants to get information. I remember I heard one interview where they talked about Brainiac, and he was like, Brainiac is the opposite alien. Where Superman comes to Earth is the, Earth's greatest hope, and is what humans would always want aliens to be. Brainiac is the exact opposite of what humans would want aliens to be. People who want to destroy our planet. That's basically that's what he is. He just wants to destroy the Earth, and after he gains all of his knowledge and sort of thing. He's a nice villain. I like Brainiac. Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, even though I like Superman, I don't have a lot of comics of him. And since now I'm here in the country, I probably won't be getting any. But still, with that said, Brainiac is a great villain. And he's number 5 on my list. Moving on. Number 4. Lex Luthor.
What? Have to admit, didn't see that one coming.
No, before you guys get all you big time Superman gets upset why I put Lex Luthor in number 4. Well, guys, remember, this is my personal favorite villains. I know Lex Luthor is Superman's number 1 villain. I know that. But that doesn't mean he's my favorite villain. Just like for Batman, I know, well, no, this isn't for me personally, but for some people, they know that Joker is Batman's number 1 villain, but that doesn't mean they're his favorite, their favorite villain, which they should be. Joker is the best villain. But anyway, just like, I know Lex Luthor is Superman's ultimate villain, but he's just not my personal favorite. But he is a great villain. I mean, seriously. He is a great villain. I mean, Lex Luthor, he's the guy that can never be second best, and he will always, my brother-in-law, he used to say, Superman would be the world's greatest savior if it wasn't for Superman. Which I'm not sure if I agree with, but I see his point, because, since Superman's his obsession, that he just, since he won't let that go, he just won't. Although, of course, the biggest problem with Lex Luthor is he thinks the end justifies the means. And as long as it ends nicely, you can do whatever the heck you want in between. Which I think is downright almost evil. Because you could, murder 1 million people as long as it ends in a happy ending. Which he probably would do. He also has this humongous lust for power. Where he just wants more. And he sees Superman and all of his power and how he just uses it so easily. And for what? For these worthless people who don't deserve it? The whole concept of Lex Luthor and Superman is really good. I'm not denying that. But he's a great villain. That's why he's number 4 on my list. But for favorites, he's not in the top 3. Sorry. I tried, but I just like these other 3 better. Okay, moving on to my top 3. Bum. Number 3. Parasite. Now, Parasite is a cool villain. I really like Parasite. He's like, I know he's basically kind of like Rogue, but I didn't really like him that much until I read the comic you're looking at now. How he's like he's like a junkie almost, obsessed with power, just like, I gotta get more, or some stuff sticks, some stuff doesn't. But I like Parasite. I really like Parasite. Just the whole way he works, he just lusts for power, and Superman's the most powerful being, and he, wants to take Superman's power. I just really, really, really like Parasite. He's just like, he's number 3 on my list. I mean, like, I like him a lot. He's a cool villain. I usually don't go for the monster type looking villain. I usually think they're kind of lame. But for Parasite, I really like him. Like the whole, I don't even know how he eats. He must not be able to eat anymore. His condition leaves it so he can't eat. All he does is take, that's his food when he takes power. Cool as heck. Moving on to my number 2 villain. Number 2, Metallo. Yes, Metallo. Man, I love Metallo. In fact, he's like almost tied with my number 1. Metallo, I just always loved him. I mean, he's just so cool. The whole metal, like, I know it's no, like a guy in a metal, like, oh, he's not in a metal suit. But I just love the whole whole thing of Metallo, especially since he's charged by kryptonite. Like, this is the only time I think kryptonite really works. Every other time it's just thrown in there. But when the guy's powered by it, and it's the only times where Superman actually, he has to use his wits to fight. Like, the rest of the times it's just keep punching. But with Metallo, he actually has to think, okay, how can I get at him without him using the kryptonite on me? How can I fight him with all this kryptonite flying around? Which I just like. I just like it a lot. Metallo's whole character, like, I don't know, Corbin, I believe his name is John Corbin. I'm just trying to think here. Okay, like, when I first saw Metallo, it was in the Superman animated series as usual. But, I just love the whole way of the character, I just love the character of Metallo. I mean, he's cool, he is powerful, and he has, like, I know robotic characters usually aren't that interesting. But you could just as well just give all the credit for this to the guy who did Metallo's voice in the Superman animated series. Now, he was cool. The guy who did that voice, I don't know who it is, but it was a great role. So yeah, Metallo, my number 2. So here we are, number 1. Number 1.
I'm no Superman. I'm no Superman.
Darkseid. Holy crap, yes, Darkseid. I don't have much time left, so I'm going to say Darkseid's the greatest Superman villain, I think. Well, he's my favorite Superman villain. I mean, like, he's so powerful, and he's the only one that's kind of more powerful than Superman. I know he didn't really start out as a Superman villain. He was part of the New Gods and New Genesis, and I think he kind of morphed into a Superman villain. And, yeah, but, I don't know about that. That's not for sure for me, but I love Darkseid. I mean, he's such a great character. He's so evil. And probably the most evil character in all the DC comics. But anyway, as I was saying, Darkseid, he's just, I mean, like, the one thing I really liked, the first time I saw him, it wasn't in the Superman animated series, actually. It was in the Justice League video game. That was the first time I saw Darkseid. It wasn't really a good portrayal of Darkseid, but it was still a good one. Anyway, Darkseid, yeah, he's really cool, really powerful, and owns an entire planet called Apocalypse, which is kind of funny, because he kind of looks similar to Apocalypse of the X-Men villain. But anyway, moving on, and he has like a planet full of people serving him, and yeah, he's pretty cool. And his son wants to kill him. Yes, he's a great Superman villain. He's the best in my opinion. He's my favorite Superman villain. But I hope you caught all that. So, thanks for watching. I'm LaserDude99. Remember, if I don't like it, it's not worth reading. If I don't like it, it's not worth reading. That's my catchphrase. Deal with it. Anything is possible. People have come back from the dead in comics.